good, Eagles fans? As you guys can see, me and my guy, Philly Foothills from the Nest Out West, are back with another pregame show this week. I am your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. And y'all know we always keep it fuego. We appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. We appreciate you guys for being here, supporting us time and time again. My man Foothills, let them know how we carrying it today.
What's good? What's going on? What's cracking, everybody? Like my man here, Tone DeShields said, it's your boy Philly Foothills, and we're on here. We're live on both of our channels on here once again for you guys pregame. We are ready to rock this thing because we got a lot to talk about with our football team. We got a tough game in Denver today at I think it's 1:25 Pacific time. So yeah, we got some things to talk about definitely because this team just has a lot of things we have to address definitely. But I'm really excited to be on with you again, my guy. Definitely loving doing this thing, and like you said, we really appreciate all you guys out there. So thank you so much for all the continual love and support for both of our channels. We're putting in our time and our energy into bringing you this great content. So we love you guys paying it back and watching it, viewing it, giving us that positive feedback and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much, very very much for being with us today.
Yeah, man. The thing is, I'm so glad you said that, right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in the shuffle, and it's so easy to take the support of the people for granted, man. And
absolutely,
the people have just been, supporting this content, supporting both our channels. The people have helped both of us, you and I, surpass 1,000 subscribers, and look, that's not by accident. That's not by accident at all, man. The people truly like what we're doing, and the goal is to constantly give them the energy that they deserve, man. Let's shout out some people while we're here, man. We got 6 people on the live stream on both of our channels. Thank you guys so much for locking in on both of the YouTube channels, the Nest Out West and myself, Chalk It Up Sports Philly. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to Richie MC for locking in. How you feeling, my man? Shout out to Jordy Fisher as well. Jordy Fighter, excuse me. Shout out to Eagles Slayer 95, always coming in with the hot fire.
What up?
Shout out to Eagles Uncensored Podcast, our guy, AK Eagle.
AK, what up, AK?
Yes, sir. Shout out to our guy, Backyard Birds Podcast. We appreciate you guys for supporting us as well. Make sure you guys go check out the Backyard Birds Podcast. Those guys are growing just like us, so make sure you guys go lock in with those guys as well. Really appreciate it. But yeah, man, like you said, this is really going to be an interesting matchup. The Philadelphia Eagles, we face off against the Denver Broncos, 1:25 Pacific time, 4:05, 4:25 Eastern time. Right. So you and I are both holding down on the East Coast and the West Coast, the furthest you can get, right? And I want to just commend you as well, my man, for always just making yourself available, because I know where you are. It's what, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So really appreciate you, my guys. It's not easy. So one of these weeks we're gonna operate on your time, on your time zone, to make sure you get that beauty sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're good, man. I don't mind getting up a little early for this. It's not super early out here. It's approaching 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, not too bad.
I was up a little late playing cards, but I got some sleep. I'm good.
Hey, some tequila and some ace of spades. You know what I mean?
Yeah, didn't go that hard. Just had a lot of what were we drinking last night? Fucking those little light drinks. The Trulies or the White Claw. That's what we were drinking last night.
The White Claws. Hey, listen.
Keeping it light, but hey, exactly. You're drinking enough of
those things, and next thing you know, you wake up and you might have to go for a run.
Right?
Man, shout out to Dustin Keys for being here as well, man. Really appreciate you.
What up, Dustin?
Man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Jay Young as well. Jadis Young for always showing love.
Shout out to him.
Yep. This
make sure you guys all smash that Make sure you guys all smash that like for us too.
Yeah.
On
Hit
both
that
channels,
like
it
button,
helps.
you guys.
Yes, please, please.
Severely. It helps.
Please.
Hitting that like button, you guys. If you have no idea how much it helps the YouTube algorithms, it really helps us really get the content going.
Yes.
And also on top of that, we are also live on Twitter as well. So make sure you guys just go wherever you are, you can find the content. We are live on 2 channels. Once again, Chalking Up Sports Philly, my channel, and the Nest Out West Philly Foothills channel as well. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe for more content. But let's get into this stuff, man. So I think what we need to get out the way is the injury report, because we need to set the tone from
Right.
who's going to play, who's not going to play, who's going to be available, who's not, who's questionable, so on and so forth. So from what I'm seeing right now, for the Philadelphia Eagles, Josh Sweat and Andre Dillard, those guys are questionable for today's game. So there's a chance they may play. I believe Josh Sweat was a concussion, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was in the concussion protocol. So I don't know if he's cleared that yet or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Andre Dillard, I'm not exactly sure what his situation is. They haven't really given too much detail. They just indicate him as being questionable. But lately, outside of the people who are on injured reserve, which is Brandon Graham, Brandon Brooks, Isaac Seumalo, Miles Sanders, this Eagles team hasn't really been dealing with too many injuries. I mean, sure, we have injuries on in key areas, but overall, I would say this team has been pretty healthy. For the better part of the season. What's your thoughts on our injury situation?
Yeah, I would think so. I think so too. We haven't been bit too bad. Obviously losing Brandon Graham, that's hurt the defense quite a bit. Just that not only what he does out there on the field, but his veteran locker room presence has definitely been missed. We don't really have that veteran voice on the defensive side of the ball right now. So, it's Brandon Graham's definitely been tough. Losing Brandon Brooks, it's been we've been kind of used to it. So, that we've been able to kind of push through that as well. And, Miles Sanders obviously going down, that kind of switched the identity of this football team. It showed us that we need to be run first. We need to be run first, especially for Jalen. Jalen functions very, very well when he has a running game going, and then he's able to play off that play action. So, yeah, the injuries, are not very concerning right now for us. But I think we're in a pretty good spot, and let's just definitely knock on wood that things continue that way for us. Because definitely even if we're not going to have a winning season this year, we want to at least go out as healthy as we can.
I feel that. And then you think about the Denver Broncos, right? They're missing some key pieces as well. They're missing a linebacker, Peter Tomapaninu. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're missing that
Good
linebacker.
luck with that one, right?
Right, exactly. They're missing their linebacker, Peter. They're missing Duke Dawson Jr., a corner. They're also missing 2 offensive linemen, Garrett Bowles and Bobby Massey. And their running back, Mike Boone, is questionable, along with Baron Browning, Pat Surtain, and Malik Reed. So they have some injuries. But, nonetheless, the main guys are linebacker Peter, Duke Dawson Jr. corner, and 2 offensive linemen, Garrett Bowles and Bobby Massey. So they're a little fragile on the offensive line, but we also have to take advantage of that as well. Last week the
Chargers were supposed to be weak on the offensive line, but we weren't able to take advantage of that. So
exactly,
you
brought up a great point.
Yeah. How will Jonathan Gannon's defense handle Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon, Tim Patrick, and the rest of them?
Because let's be honest,
we got to get pressure on Bridgewater. That's first and foremost. We got to get pressure today.
Absolutely, man. The pressure is going to be huge, and the pressure was non-existent last week. Justin Herbert was honestly capable of doing exactly what he wanted to do for the better part of that game. He had a career game as well. We've been we've been allowing quarterbacks to have career games against us, and we just haven't been making these wide receivers work for their yardage. We've allowed Jonathan Gannon, has allowed this DB room to play off the corner, play off the wide receiver, and we've just been allowing guys to get so much done in the passing game. These dink and dunk plays, we've allowed guys to catch the ball.
And teams are killing us on first down. They're completing at a really high rate on first down. Most teams are coming out passing the ball right now because quarterbacks are completing. Have you seen it? They're completing 75% of their passes against us this year. That is better than Drew Brees' single season record. The quarterbacks are having a field day against this year when we don't get consistent pressure. We really haven't been able to outside of the Detroit Lions game. I mean, we haven't had many sacks this year. They had 6 sacks against Detroit, and then I don't even think we knocked Justin Herbert down last week. Like, he literally could have been in a Tide commercial at the end of the game. His jersey was that clean. Like, it was an embarrassment. It really was. We have to do better.
No, you're right. It was a shit show. Literally,
it was.
That man's jersey. He could have worn our jersey next week. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
He could have worn that jersey 2 weeks in a row. That's how clean it was. That jersey had no fingerprints on it. The only time he hit the turf is when he actually tried to run for extra yardage, and he got hit. But other than that,
exactly. And when offenses are completing, when they're getting 5 or 6 yards or more on first down, how is the defense supposed to stop anybody like that? They're already behind the gate. Out on first down, they're getting way behind. So we have to do better. We have to do better, like you said. I think we need tighter coverage. We need guys playing tighter to the line. Just take for instance, right, Tone? At the end of the game last week, right? The Chargers got the ball with 6 minutes left. What's Jonathan Gannon's his biggest fear, right? Is getting beat over the top. Let them score quick. Get the ball back and then tie it up.
Right, at least get the ball back, right?
Exactly. Take send a blitz, send an all-out blitz, something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take your chances. You don't let a team sit on the ball like that for 6 minutes and just run the ball down your throat, kill the clock, and just kick a chip shot field goal. You can't win in the NFL like that. You're setting yourself up for disaster.
Yeah, and that bend but don't break defense is literally terrible when you're trying to get the ball back. You cannot when you're working against the clock, you cannot allow the offense to have extended drives, and that's what that bend but don't break defense does. That's what that sticks defense does. It allows the offense to have extended drives. You literally defense needed to win that game last week. Defense needed to get that ball back, and he did not have his guys playing any level of aggressive defense to get that ball back. My whole thing was, and I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from last week for Jonathan Gannon. You did not want to get that ball back for some reason. Like, what was your resistance to having your guys attack that rock? You know what I mean? Because you knew offense needed to get that ball back, and you did nothing to help them get that ball back. The offense did exactly what they needed to do. They tied that game up in the fourth quarter, and all defense needed to do was be aggressive and play disciplined football. You had guys like Gary Barnett having costly penalties, and then on top of that, it didn't help Jonathan Gannon just constantly playing, giving the tight ends and the wide receivers 10 to 15 yards of cushion. The tight ends for the Chargers, they had a field day against us. None of those guys, none of the skill position guys for the Chargers were burners. The only time we got beat deep was from Mike Williams for that 50-yard catch. Other than that, everything was dick and dunk. Everything was underneath. We allowed them to get additional 5-10 yards after the catch. We did not. We did not. Jonathan Gannon did not make it a point to get that ball back for that offense, and that's the problem with that bend but don't break defense. You're not dictating the pace. You're just hoping for the offense to make a mistake. And when a quarterback like Justin Herbert is that hot, he's not going to make a mistake. Most of his completions were just throwaways or just mistakes on his part, where he just maybe overthrew a guy a little bit or underthrew a guy. Mistakes on his part. We did not force Justin Herbert to make a mistake. All his mistakes were his own doing.
And shame on us for that, because the defenses have shown against him this year that if you bring pressure, you get in his face, he's starting to show some, some sophomore hiccups a little bit. He's been having Justin Herbert's had some turnovers this year. He's had some interceptions, things like that. I think he's had a fumble or two. So it just showed. It just shame, like I said, shame on us and shame on the coaching staff for allowing Derek Barnett to continue to be out there. My new saying is number 96 needs to hit the bricks because he is just driving me literally insane. Derek Barnett, he's either one of the dumbest football players I've ever seen, or he's getting paid under the table by these other teams to make these stupid, idiotic penalties at the end of games. And just he's cost us now possibly 2 wins with his penalties. One against San Francisco, and then this past week. He's an idiot. I can't wait till he's off this team.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it. It makes you think this guy's getting paid somewhere for for being this much of a screw up.
Right. I don't know if I've ever disliked it. I don't know if I've ever disliked an Eagle as much as I dislike him. I am so done with Derek Barnett.
Right. So they have a tall task ahead of them. That's the bottom line. Cortland Sutton, he's having a decent year right now. I believe Cortland Sutton. Let me just make sure I'm not mistaken. Cortland Sutton leads their team in reception. Leads their teams in receptions and yards, averaging 14 yards a catch with 2 touchdowns. And then Tim Patrick, I think he's the guy we need to watch, in my humble opinion. He's right.
They're gonna look for Patrick because more than likely Steven Nelson will be on Patrick, so they'll definitely probably look to throw away from Slay. Because Slay will be on Sutton.
Here's the thing about Tim Patrick: he leads their wide receivers in yards after the catch, so he's their big play guy. He leads their team in touchdown receptions, and then behind him is Noah Fant. So Tim Patrick and Noah Fant are Teddy Bridgewater's favorite targets in the red zone.
We got to be disciplined when they get the ball to Patrick. We got to be disciplined and make sure we don't let him get too many yak yards. We got to gang tackle. Fly to the ball. Just be around. Don't give him too much cushion. And we got to be. I'm tired of this bend but don't break defense. I'm sick of it. We got to bring more pressure.
Absolutely. And here's the thing about the pressure, though. Like you said, last week we didn't get any pressure. We had all our guys.
The front four's not getting it done. The front four ain't getting it done.
Right. But to your point, right, I'm going to counter that a little bit. It's hard for those guys to get it done when the DBs aren't able to limit the wide receivers from getting open so soon. These linemen don't have enough time to get there. Quarterbacks are averaging a little over 2 seconds getting the ball out against us. That means that guys are getting open early. Guys are getting open early against us, and that's a huge problem. We have to stop their running game. They've been relying heavily on their running game lately. With Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams had a great game against the Cowboys. Did you see that play where I think they had him wrapped up like 4 or 5 different times, four or 5 different guys, and he would just keep churning, kept churning. They bullied the Dallas Cowboys. They made the Dallas Cowboys look like mere mortals last week. Now, granted, I don't think they're going to look that good against us this week, but the way this Eagles defense is playing, how can we be so sure, right? The Denver Broncos, made noise against the Cowboys last week, and they're confident. They're coming into this game confident, but at the same time, I'm banking on them overlooking us. But both of our teams have a lot to gain from this win. They're trying to get in good standing in their division. The NFC East is not won any game against the AFC West all season. The Denver Broncos are about to have a clean sweep against us. We've just been – I'll take that back. The Dallas Cowboys did beat the Chargers earlier this season. But
I was going to say that. But,
the Denver Broncos have almost have a clean sweep of the NFC East. If we lose, they sweep the NFC East. They beat the Giants. They beat the Washington football team. They beat the Cowboys, surprisingly. And if we don't get the job done early, they're going to beat us. And that begs the question: will Teddy Bridgewater have a career day in the air? Because we've been giving it up, man.
We definitely have, and that's what scares me, because if he's back there with a clean pocket with lots of time for his receivers to get open, then our DBs can only hold up so long. Especially with the with the space that we given them in this bend but don't break type of defense, they're going to probably look to get the ball, like you said, they're going to look to get the ball out of Bridgewater's hands pretty quickly, and just they're going to dink and dunk, take their shots when they can, and because Bridgewater's not he's not anything special. I think we've seen enough of Teddy Bridgewater to know that he's a decent game manager. He's up and down. You know, the Broncos have been a lot like we have this year. They've had their ups and their downs. They obviously have a way, you know, we don't have a quality win this year. They had a quality win last week, and that was big time because not only did they go into Dallas's house and just, you know, stomp them down in Dallas, but they did it right after trading away their best defensive weapon, you know, to the Rams. You know, they traded away Von Miller, and then they went in to Dallas and they handled the Cowboys like that. I mean, what does
that say about their trust for their defense? That speaks a lot to their trust for the guys that they have behind Von Miller. Now, you know, granted, Von Miller is a future Hall of Famer. You know, former Super Bowl 50 MVP. You know, Von Miller is not a slouch at all. He's going to eat with the Rams. But to give him up in the midst of this thing you're trying to build, that shows confidence in those guys you have, and I believe that's one of the reasons they played so well. That showed confidence that, hey, listen, I trust you guys to pick up this slack, and that defense came through, man. I had to give them credit for stopping that high-powered Cowboys offense, and that shows that the Cowboys are mortals. They're human. They can get touched, and I think that was the beginning of the end.
Not only that, but they always start to crumble it later in the season. They always start to kind of fade a little bit, but that just kind of shows you that the Cowboys, especially at the running back position, they don't have a lot of depth. You know, Pollard's not a power back. Pollard's a finesse back. You know, they can't run Pollard between the tackles like Zeke can. And when Zeke went down, that definitely was a big kick in the nuts to Dallas.
Yeah, for sure, man.
They can't win without Zeke. It shows.
They can't. They really can't. Like they can't have long-term success without Zeke. Tony Pollard, he's good, but he's a complimentary back. Tony Pollard can't be your bell cow. He can't be the person that you rely on, you know, to continue to move the chains when you're trying to maintain a lead or when you're just trying to, you know, win the game as well. Tony Pollard is a good running back. He's good. He's a solid running back to having that 1-2 punch. You know, he's a utility back. You know what I mean? He can come in on certain downs, certain down and distance. To execute a certain package that you want. But the Cowboys rely heavily on Zeke, and if Zeke isn't there consistently, they can't have long-term success. But Teddy, man, Teddy, like you said, Teddy Bridgewater is what he's going to be. He is what
Teddy
he is.
Gloves.
But Teddy,
they call him Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves, right? But you think about, like I said, you think about what we've been doing on defense, man. We've allowed 5 quarterbacks or 6 quarterbacks, I can't remember exactly, to have 80% to complete 80% of their passes. That's terrible. That's the most. That's that many in one season surpasses how much we've allowed it to happen in like a 40-year, 30-year span. So this Eagles defense from a passing perspective is historically bad. This is arguably the worst Eagles defense in the past 21 years.
Yeah, it's like you said, their quarterbacks are completing an astronomical rate of their passes, and like I said earlier, they're getting ahead of us, on the down and distance right out the gate. They're throwing the ball right out the gate, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos come out throwing the ball right out the gate too, because you know when the defense is hit with 2nd and 4, you know, second and 3, that's really hard to get off the field when you're in situations like that, and we seem to continually be in situations like that over and over again, and our defense is just going to continue to get wore down. We have to get stops. We have to get off the field today. And a lot of that's going to be contingent on us not, you know, making Teddy Bridgewater beat us and not letting him. You know, we got to be tight in our coverage, and we got to get some pressure on him today. And I don't care if that means bringing a safety blitz, a corner blitz, a blitz right up the middle. I don't care, mixing some things, and we can't sit back and just let these teams just pick us apart. We gotta fight for these wins the rest of this year.
Facts. And another week in a row, we face big body wide receivers. Cortland Sutton, a big body guy. Tim Patrick, a big body guy. Noah Fant, a big body guy. Melvin Gordon as well. He's pretty good in the passing game. He's pretty good in the passing game. So this is another week we're going to face a slew of possession style receivers. That's what Cortland Sutton is. He's a possession guy, a route runner. He's Tim Patrick. He's a possession guy. You know what I mean? We can't allow these guys to continue to move the chains. I was looking up something, and I believe, make sure I'm not mistaken, the Denver Broncos right now, as far as third down efficiency, they have a 37% conversion rate when it comes to third down. But if we can force them into third and long situations, if we can force them in enough third down situations, we can win this game. They're allowing opponents to convert third downs at a 43% clip. Not too much better, but that defense is a very good rushing defense. I think they're top 10, top 7, top 6, something like that. So we have to be mindful of that. But I feel like we need to stay consistent with the running game. I don't care how good their running defense is. They got to show us. But like I said, if we can force them in enough third down situations, if we can force Teddy Bridgewater to have to convert a handful of third and longs, then we put our defense in a better position. But again, it always goes back to how much cushion we're going to allow these guys. Because if we give them 5 yards of cushion in the 3rd and 10 situation, then all they got to do is catch that ball and then power through for the extra 5 yards. We've been allowing that to happen on so many occasions. If you're giving them so much cushion to catch the ball, then they're gonna easily get at minimum 3 yards before contact, and all they got to do is just power through for those next 2 yards. It's not hard.
Yep. Right.
It's not hard.
And teams have been exposing the middle of the field on us big time. So look for the Broncos to do that as well, because they, whether it's hitting a tight end over the middle or a receiver or even a running back, teams have really been exposing the middle of the field, and our glaring weakness on this team, and it's our linebacking position. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows that our linebacking core is not very strong right now, and they're looking to take advantage of it. And Denver's going to do the same thing. They're going to look to work the middle of the field and to really try to expose some of these linebackers in the pass coverage.
Yeah, man.
And like you said, when guys are getting, I know I've probably said this before, but it doesn't matter if your leading tackler is getting trucked. Like you said, the guys are powering through to get their first downs. And yeah, Alex Singleton might be one of our leading tacklers, but he's literally always making tackles on his butt. He's getting run over. And guys are making first down yardage on him and his defense. So, linebacking, we have to address that position in the offseason. We got to draft linebacker, dude. Right. Defense has got to be a must.
Man, we have to put this team in the best position to succeed. Well, the front office does. The front office has to put this team in the best position to succeed. And we're going to get into that later on in this live stream. We're going to talk about the front office. Have they been cutting corners? Have they been cheap, which we know they have? But I want to pick your brain about it as well once we get deeper into this live stream. But let's transition to the offense a little bit.
But to answer that question real quick, I do not think Bridgewater will have a career day against us. I don't think he will.
I agree with you. I don't think he will as well. I just don't think he's that talented of a thrower of the ball.
Right.
I just think he's a risk taker to a degree, but ultimately Teddy Bridgewater is going to play within the offense, and most of the time these guys are completing their passes on dick and dunks, and we're just getting dick and dunk and dunk. That's what it is. But at some point you got to make these wide receivers earn their money. You got hey, listen, you got to beat me. Hey, listen, if you're going to throw it over the top, okay, let's see what happens.
Exactly.
See.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's see it.
I think one of the reasons we lost last week against the Chargers is because we started off slow on offense. I think Nick Sirianni got away from what what the success was, and that's the running game. I feel like we started off running the ball like once or twice, and then he kept doing all these shotgun formations. So we wasted about 2 drives on just trying to force the shotgun formation down the defense's throat. If we start this game on the ground, if we start this game trying to run the rock instead of trying to get the air game going early. No, get the running game started. Let Jalen Hurts get a feel for what the defense is showing him. Let him see what's in front of him first for a few drives. Then they say, okay, let's open up this passing game a little bit. You know what I mean?
And let the offensive line build confidence. They love to run block. Let them attack the defense. Let the offense in general get some confidence going. And if that happens early, we'll have a good shot at a victory today. But like you said, it's gonna depend on Sirianni. We got to have balance too, though. We can't. Sometimes it seems like when we run the ball, we're running it a little too much now at times. So we have to keep that balance. We really do. And just I think it's important, and I'm going to keep saying it. Hurts, if he's going to be successful, if he's going to continue to progress, and he has, there's one area where he's really progressed this season, and that's turnovers. He has not really been turning the ball over. I think he only has 4 interceptions this year. I don't think he has any fumbles. So he is definitely improving in that. So I really like to see that, because that's key for me. Year 2 is to definitely progress with, taking care of the rock, because that's very important. So we get that running game going early. Jalen's able to, get that play action working as well. Yeah, he'll have some guys open down the field. He's got to see him early, because if he would have saw Dallas on that first drive last week, if he would have saw Dallas a second earlier, if he would have got that ball out a second earlier before that guy gave him that shot right up the middle, that one I'm talking about, where that deep shot to Dallas, where he tipped it and he missed it, because he overthrew him a little bit. If he throws that ball a second earlier, man, he's going to have way more accuracy on that, because he took a shot on that play. He really did. It was not a clean pocket. He took a pretty big shot. There was one last week that Jalen, messed up on, and that was that corner spot to Devontae, because Devontae did his job. He was open in the corner, and Jalen's got to hit that pass right there. And I'm glad Devontae was giving it, was letting them know that he was upset, because he's doing his job. So Jalen's got to hold up on his end. He's got to do his work.
Facts, man. It's good. Like you said, Jalen Hurts he's at that point in his career where you don't want him trying to force things with his arm just yet. He's just not there yet, unfortunately. He's still developing as a thrower of the ball. He's inconsistent in terms of accuracy sometimes, and that's just the reality. So what you have to do, you have to put him in situations where that running game is setting up his passing, which gives him bigger windows. And eventually, he's going to turn to a quarterback where he can fit things in tighter windows. But right now, you have to play to his strengths. He's a dual threat quarterback. Allow him to make things happen the way he makes things happen, and allow that running game to take the pressure off of him. Allow the running game to take the pressure off of that pass rush. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? There was one play last week that really showed me Jalen Hurts' dedication to this football team. And that was, I think you know what play I'm talking about, that flip play, where he could have went out of bounds. But he decided to go over the top. He somersaulted. And, with the team, the struggles that we've had this year, we're obviously not even close to 500 right now. But for him to put his body on the line like that, that shows me that he is not full of shit when he talks about his dedication and his drive, because not everybody gives their body up like that. Not everybody sacrifices themselves like that, and it may have just been for a first down, but who cares? It doesn't matter. That's showing his love and dedication to this football team.
One thing I can say to your point, right? Mm-hmm. I've noticed that when the team needs points, he gets it. That's the one thing. I guess one thing I can say, he's not one of those quarterbacks where you have to question his willingness to score. He's very aware of situations. He's very aware of down and distance. He understands that we need to score now. And I really admired the fact that he drove down that field in the fourth quarter, knowing that we need to put points on the board now. He knows how to put the ball in someone else's court, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like we said, that defense didn't give him another drive. I firmly believe if defense would have got to stop, we win that game because at the momentum we had, the way he was moving that rock, the risk he was willing to take, I believe Jalen Hurts would have won that game for us. But the offense only touched the ball one time in the fourth quarter, and you can't win that way when you're playing against the clock and you're playing against a team as talented as the Los Angeles Chargers. We can't keep allowing these offenses, these skill position guys to have so much space. But at the same time, like I said, we had to get this running game involved. Running the ball is not an option at this point in the season. We understand where we are as a team and as a franchise, and Jalen Hurts is more productive. He's more accurate when the ball isn't in his hands as much. But that also begs the question: will he develop into the quarterback that we need him to get it? To the quarterback that we need him to be? Will he develop into being the thrower of the football that we need him to develop into? And we're going to get into that as well because his progression has really been called into question. Some people believe he should be further along. Some people believe that he's exactly where he should be, all things considered, with the rookie head coach. And some people even bring up the numbers of the fact that he has better numbers. He's more productive than Mac Jones, but for some reason, people give Mac Jones the benefit of the doubt. But granted, Mac Jones is in a much more stable situation, much more stable front office, a stable head coach, a legendary head coach.
Right.
And he's nowhere near the productive player as Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been forced to be the guy for more times than not. And I watched some of those Patriots games, and they had no problem running that ball 30 to 40 times and letting Mac Jones throw the ball 20 to 25 times. They have no problem doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's that's about the numbers that Jalen needs too. He needs more runs than pass, but we still need to keep a pretty good balance. It can't be too one-sided, definitely. But I'm really comfortable right now with Jalen Hurts, whether he turns out to be the guy or not. I want to give him at least the rest of this year, if not next year as well. And I say this because I want the front office to primarily focus on defense in the draft. Do not go after a quarterback in the offseason. Do not give away the draft stock that we have. Tone, honestly, do you want to give away 2 first rounds this year and a first round next year for Russell Wilson?
I really don't.
I don't either.
For the simple fact that this team is nowhere near where it needs to be. I don't think Russell Wilson is going to save us. Russell Wilson is going to be like, why would we take a quarterback in an already turbulent situation and bring him into our turbulent situation? You know what I mean? It really doesn't make any sense to me. I'm of the mindset of giving Jalen Hurts another season to work it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we need to really take this opportunity to reload this roster. We have a legit opportunity to draft 3 defensive dynamos in the first round. We have a legit chance to turn this defense around in one offseason. We had that. We had that real opportunity, and there's a chance that this front office can really fumble the bag. And there was I think a story or a report out that Howie Roseman was scouting some quarterbacks, and I'm trying to understand why. I had no problem. I had no problem with us drafting a quarterback, but you need to draft him in like the 4th, 5th, or 6th round. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's no reason we should be reaching for a quarterback, especially in this quarterback draft. Listen, this draft can potentially have a quarterback not even going in the first round. That's how bad this quarterback class is this coming off season.
Right.
Not saying that these guys aren't making the most out of their opportunities where they are, but the reality is this off season, this quarterback class is not the most talented in years past. It's just not.
Right.
it was known last season that this upcoming class is not going to be as talented, that you shouldn't jump the gun on. And we really need to go pure this first round. If we end up going into this draft with all three first round picks, I would go defense strictly. I would go defense in those first three picks. I would go after the most talented linebacker, the most talented safety, the most talented corner. I'm going for it because the defense is the problem right now. The offense has shown that they can put some points on the board. I think the Philadelphia Eagles right now, I think from a stat perspective, this Eagles team is averaging 25 points per game. Not bad, right?
How much will we be average? I wonder how much we would be averaging. How much we would be averaging right now if Jordan Howard would have been on this roster the whole season. If we would have been running the rock like we should have been from the gate, how much point? I think we'd probably be averaging more closer to 30 right now. I really do. And Jordan Howard's he's got to be talking. He's got to give the coaches a little bit of shit. You know, I mean, he's got to be like, hey, why was I in the practice squad for 7 weeks or for however long he was? It was at 6 weeks. It's head scratching. It really is because they try to put way too much on Jalen's plate, and they try to be like a passing first, run when you have to, and just try to get a little bit of yards, maybe through some short screens or whatever. But it's shown that, I mean, we've seen it now. We're a run first team, and
that's okay.
It is okay, because that's how you control the clock in the NFL. Run the ball. You run the ball.
Listen to this stat. Jordan Howard's averaging over 4 yards a carry right now, and he accumulated 3 touchdowns and 3 touchdowns since being brought up. So he's been productive. He's been making the most of his opportunities. He's gotten 10 first downs on his runs. You know what I mean? He's been moving the chains. In 2 weeks, he's accumulated 10 first downs. Think about that.
Yeah. If he would have been on the active roster for the Vegas game, I guarantee you that game would have been a lot more competitive. Because even if Miles goes down, we still have somebody to run the ball. We still have somebody to get us those yards. And we've been moving. Our offense has looked a lot better with Jordan Howard on the field. It just has.
It looks like it has more of an identity, more of a flow.
Mm-hmm.
And this offensive line has been falling in line as well. They've been loving the running game. And Landon
Dickerson is a run blocking specialist. He is a beast.
That's his style. And our offensive line right now is much better in run blocking than pass protection. Yes. And on top of that, we have to take advantage of the size. Our offensive line outmatches defensive lines as far as size on many occasions. Mm-hmm. We don't take advantage of that. Right. And you have having a guy like Jordan Howard right there just waiting in the rafters. It's criminal to have a guy that young still have that skill set. People forget that Jordan Howard was a multi-year 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. If I'm not mistaken,
right.
I think he had about maybe 2 or 3 2 years with over 1,000 yards rushing. Maybe a year with like 950. I think because he was splitting carries with someone. But he had years where he had multiple seasons where he had 900 yards rushing. Jordan Howard. Let me just make sure I'm not saying, I'm not speaking out of turn, because Jordan Howard has been a legit guy. His rookie season had over 1,300 yards rushing. His 2017 season over 11 yards rushing, over 1,100 yards. His 2018 season, he had 935 yards. So for 3 seasons with the Bears, he had over 920 yards rushing, 930 yards rushing. For the first 2 seasons in the NFL, had over 1,100 yards rushing. Then he got to the Eagles his 4th season. See, the Bears got rid of him before they gave him his second deal. Right. You know what I mean? Jordan Howard is only 27 years old. 27. He's in his 7th season. I'm sorry, he's in his 6th season. And that first year with us, he had over 500 yards rushing. Not bad. And not bad when you're averaging 4 yards a carry. Got 6 touchdowns. You know what I mean? And you're behind Miles Sanders. Our running game is at its best when we have that 1-2 punch, when we have that one cut back and that power back. Once again, think about the Super Bowl year. We had Jay Ajayi. We had a guy like LeGarrette Blount. We had Corey Clement. We had a three-headed monster. We had that one cut and Jay Ajayi. We had that power back, that north-south runner in LeGarrette Blount. You think about Corey Clement, who was the receiving back. But LeGarrette Blount was put. We don't win that Super Bowl without LeGarrette Blount. We don't. We don't. No. He was dictating the pace on numerous occasions, and we need to put Jordan Howard in that role. You see, he runs with ferocity. He runs with a certain flair, with a certain demeanor and passion that you can't quantify. That man runs like his feet is on fire. He doesn't stop moving. Tenacious. Exactly. Yes. Perfect word. He runs with a certain tenacity that can't that we should have had at the very beginning. You know what I mean? People want to give up on power backs, but these power backs move the chains. These power backs allow you to dictate the pace, and it allows you to punch the opposing team in the damn mouth. And that's the kind of team.
When you get on short yardage, you get down the goal line, you can freaking punch the ball in. You don't have to do these stupid little rollout passes, or you try to do like a quarterback draw or something like that. You get your power back in there and you score the damn touchdown. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, man.
We had the opportunity. We could have easily had that 1-2 punch out the gate, and the coaching staff just decided to go a different way, and it definitely hasn't panned out for the most part for us this year. But Jordan Howard's making a statement right now, and that statement is that he has got a lot of football left in him. Just because he went to Miami for a year, Miami didn't use him, he didn't play. A lot of people thought he was done. No, Jordan Howard's got a lot of good football left in him. Like you said, he's only 27. He's young.
And he hasn't, in my opinion, he hasn't had significant injuries. He's had he's had soft tissue ticky tack injuries. But he, in my humble opinion, Jordan Howard has not had.
His knees are good. His ankles are good.
It's not even a matter of opinion. And he was a fifth round pick. We have to give credence to that as well. He's overperformed, and teams have just not wanted to commit themselves to him because they want to go in different directions. But my thing is, you can punching the opposing team in the mouth will never go out of style. I don't, you know what I mean? And then ownership.
It wasn't this year, but I think it was the last time he was with us. I've seen him as a lead blocker, like as a fullback. I've seen him even do that before. He's athletic, and he's a big guy. He's a bigger back. So there's lots of different ways we can use him. I've seen him do that before. So he's not like, and he's a great pass blocker too.
Exactly, man. Drip brought up a good question. He says, would you resign Sanders and Howard to keep the 2-punch combo and sprinkle in with a little Scott? I would say I personally would bring back Miles Sanders, but I don't know if he would come back just based off how this team has been using him lately. Granted, he's still in the contract, but who knows if this team may trade him? You never know, man. But I firmly believe that we should keep Miles Sanders and Howard, keep that 1-2 punch, and sprinkle in Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott. I feel like I like Kenny Gainwell, but I feel like we're relying on him a little too much. I think this offense should be a 4 running back system. I just believe that. Use these guys in various situations, have different packages in play, and we should be we have the chance to be a really balanced offense, really balanced team, the type of offense that opposing teams have a hard time game planning against, because you have that dual threat quarterback in Jalen Hurts who can get things done with his legs, but he can make the necessary throws if he continues to develop behind this running game. You feel what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on this question?
I mean, I definitely think the Eagles should re-sign Sanders, and I would look to bring to Howard back too, have that 1-2 punch. Definitely, I think Booby's got to be pissed off right now. They woke up right. They started running the ball right. Basically, he was going to go off against the Raiders. I seen it. He got hurt, but and since then we've been running the ball at a higher clip. So he's got to be frustrated right now, but he's also got to be kind of excited to get back at it too, because it's not like once Miles Sanders comes back, they're just going to go away from the run. No, they're going to keep running the ball. So he's going to get his opportunities. He just needs to get that confidence. That's what Miles Sanders is lacking right now. It's that confidence.
Yeah, man. It's all about confidence. It's all about knowing that the coaching staff has your back and has your best interest, man. So it's like you have no choice but to question the aptitude of this coaching staff when you know the personnel they have and they're not using it to the best of their ability. I feel like ultimately we were served fool's gold. They kept reiterating that, we're gonna use guys the way they should be. We're gonna get the most out of this roster, and it's just honestly criminal the way this team has been used lately.
Yeah, and I think Jalen Reagor is kind of getting a tough shake, because we really have to step back and look at things from a big picture perspective. The front office, I should say Howie Roseman really reached by taking Jalen Reagor in the first round. Jalen Reagor was not a first round talent, and but yet we hold him to that expectation because of where he was selected in the draft. Jalen Reagor he didn't choose where he was selected. We have to be a little patient. He's more of a complimentary receiver. He's more of that kind of that Deebo Samuel type. The 49ers.
He should have never been drafted in the first round. Should have never been drafted.
No,
never. He's arguably the worst wide receiver in that first round that was drafted. Arguably.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he is. He is the worst wide receiver from that first round draft. You think about the guys that were drafted: Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson.
He hasn't killed anybody in a DUI, so. I mean, Henry Ruggs. That's
man.
What I'm saying.
That's a sad thing, man. That's wild, man. His career might be over.
Yeah. Oh, it's over. It's over. Yeah. It's Dunsky. He's never gonna play in the NFL again.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy too, because Gate City. I don't know if you knew this, but shout out to Gate City. He predicted that Ruggs would not make it to his second contract. He predicted that.
Wow.
He said Ruggs. He didn't say why. He just, I don't know, maybe it was because of character issues or what, but yeah, shout out to Gate City. He predicted that Ruggs would not make it to his second contract in the NFL, and who knew he'd be right.
Wow. That's a hell of a prediction, man.
Right.
But yeah, we're thinking about ownership, thinking about the way the coaching staff has used their players, and also remember, I believe Howie Roseman is in charge of who gets called up and who doesn't get called up. So I look at Howie Roseman as if you had a guy like Jordan Howard sitting there waiting to just get things popping. You know what I mean? And then you think about the moves they made, drafting Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson. Jalen Reagor has not lived up to expectation at all. And then you think about drafting guys like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and you think about the fact that we have all these picks. And then you think about how we move and how we move in free agency. It's so many questions surrounding this the ownership group and the front office. But it begs the question: are ownership and the front office being cheap with this team's development? Should we trust them? Because
hell no.
You can make a firm. You can make a firm argument that they're only keeping Howie Roseman around because he's good at balancing the books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very good argument because. Yes, they are being very cheap with the. I mean, they're being cheap with the development, and I think you have a good point there, Tone, about Roseman having a good say on who comes up and who goes down, because that makes a lot of sense to me. Because he wanted the offense to go through Jalen as much as possible, because as much as everyone doesn't want to admit it right now, Howie is kind of. I'm not saying I mean, obviously in the fan base he's on the hot seat, but Howie is kind of trying to save his job right now, I think. And he drafted Jalen. So if Jalen succeeds, then he can say, look, that was me. Look, I drafted Jalen Hurts. That's my quarterback. You know, I have us a franchise quarterback now. But, you know, it definitely, if that's the case, it's definitely kind of backfired in how he's faced, because, you know, we're 3 and 6 right now, 3 and 7. So
3 and 6, yep.
Yeah. Today, hopefully we get that 4th win, but it's going to be tough. You know, the Broncos, if they play anywhere nearly as good as they did last week, they're going to kick our ass. But that's the thing, are they? Because they've been up and down this year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I do not trust it. I do not trust the front office, though. I do not trust Howie Roseman with any draft picks, especially 3 first-rounders. I am nervous as all hell until he is out of here, and he hasn't been extended yet, and he's only guaranteed through this year. I believe his contract, the team has an option to bring him back for 2022, but it's not guaranteed, and he hasn't been re-signed at this point. So, you know, for all the people that want Howie gone, let's just keep our fingers crossed that maybe this is the beginning of the end for Mr. Roseman.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. I think he's going to be here next season. I really do.
You're probably right.
Just think about all the moves they made, allowing him to pick allowing him to pick the head coach, and
that's the thing, because if we were gonna trust a new guy or somebody, or are they gonna promote from somebody within to and hand them over the keys with all that draft capital and all the cap space that we're gonna have too next year? You know, is really gonna trust somebody new? And I think you're probably right. I don't think he is.
Yeah, you sounded a little muffled there, Foothills. I don't know if your mic's covered. Sound a little muffled.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, the moves dictate that he's going to still be here. But you know, my thing is, players know when you're being cheap. Way better. Yeah, my man, perfect.
Sweet.
Players know when you're being cheap. Players can sense it, you know. And then the word is as well, he's the type of GM to, you know, take a guy's snaps away when he's getting close to getting all his incentives. You know what I mean? Why would I want to play for an organization that barely wants to pay me in the first place? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's criminal for this guy to have as much power as he has. Like I always say, that Super Bowl was the worst thing that happened to his organization, because we caught lightning in the bottle. When you think about the way we built that team, we should have never really won a Super Bowl. Like so many things happened perfectly. So many things fell into place that season for us to win that Super Bowl, and we don't really think too much about it. Howie Roseman let's be real, Howie Roseman caught lightning, and he got lucky. He got lucky.
Yeah,
you know?
even a broken clock can be right twice a day. You know,
exactly, exactly. And in our respect, I'm not sure if Howie Roseman is going to ever get to that level of right or correctness again. I firmly believe this team will never ever move forward in terms of a culture standpoint if Howie Roseman is here. And you know, a lot of people say, what does Howie Roseman have on Jeffrey Lurie? It's not what he has on him, it's what he can do for him. And that's the fact that it's all about the bottom line. Hey, are we in the positive or making money? Okay, that's all he cares about. But the thing is, though, your organization will make more money naturally if the team is winning, if the team is successful. Right. If the team is competitive. This organization is so focused on the money aspect. We're not focusing on the football aspect. I don't want to ever see Howie Roseman in someone's press box with binoculars, as if he knows exactly what the hell he's looking at. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He doesn't know. So I don't trust that man as far as I can throw him. I probably could throw him pretty far because he's a weasel. He's pretty light. but I don't trust that man as far as I can spit. You know what I'm saying? Like that man will be the demise of this organization. It's a reason why guys like Malcolm Jenkins never played, never came back. It's a reason why we lost out on Brian Dawkins coming back to the for his final 2 or 3 years in the league. That man went to the Denver Broncos and made it to the Pro Bowl that same season that we moved on from him. You know what I mean? So what does it tell you about Howie Roseman? He doesn't know how to eye talent. He doesn't know how to gauge talent. He doesn't know how to gauge how many years a guy has left, because he keeps giving contracts to guys who don't have a leg to stand on anymore, a.k.a. Jason Peters. And then And then on top of that,
not only that. So, and just think about this, Tone. So we have scouts, right, for our football team that are supposedly
they get paid for.
Right. Are these scouts know that Howie's not going to listen to them? So are they really even putting in their full effort on scouting these players? Probably not.
Very good question.
Not because they know that Howie's going to do whatever he wants to do. Howie's a stubborn SOB, like you said. He's a weasel. He doesn't listen to his scouts. He thinks he knows. He thinks he's the smartest man in the room, and it spoke volumes when he tried to. What was it? Tim Donahue. He tried to fist pump him after the trade. After that one of the draft picks, and that just spoke volumes because you could tell there's people in this organization that are fed the hell up with Howie Roseman.
Yeah, man. My man Tim Donahue kept his hands in his pocket, and he was like, he was like, and then all you see is Howie Roseman like, what? What did I do? What?
Right.
What? You don't like it?
What?
You don't like the pick, bro? It's like, dog, you do not know what you're doing. You are a numbers guy, strictly a number. You are a nerd, and that's okay. Yep. There's nothing wrong with being smart.
You're an overpaid accountant. You're an overpaid accountant.
You're a glorified accountant.
Yep.
Literally, like you said, overpaid and glorified. You do not know football. Just because you work for an NFL organization, that doesn't mean you know football.
Right.
There are different roles for people to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give the goddamn mailman, control over what's going on, and I'm damn sure not going to give the moment you start allowing money and the finances to dictate how you make football decisions, that's when you're lost. Unless you're over the cap and you need to finesse some things, that's the only time money should dictate how you build your roster. But if you have flexibility in the cap, or if your team is on the verge of becoming good, or whatever it may be, if you start, unless you're over the cap, unless you have some bad contracts, the moment you start allowing finances to dictate how you build your team, how you make football decisions, that's when your organization is on a downward spiral, and it's so hard to get out of that.
Yeah, it really is. And we've had this kind of black cloud around this organization for too long now. So whether he's gone after this year, I don't think he's going to get extended. If he's here, he's only going to be here through next year. And unless something drastically changes in this team, goes on a deep playoff run next year, that he'll be gone after 2022. So the clock's ticking. It's just we can't screw this draft up coming up. We really can't. Like you said, we got to go defense, and then more defense on top of that. We really do. We have a really good opportunity to fix this football team quickly. And if we draft right, we can do it. But that's the thing. Are we going to draft right? That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And look, I give them credit for getting those 3 first-round draft picks. I give them credit, man. It's looking like we're going to have 3 top 15 picks, which is not bad. The Dolphins knocking off the Ravens was bad for us. We know no one expected that. We're definitely doing
a draft live for the first round. We gotta do one.
Oh no, yeah, for sure, bro.
We're doing a podcast.
Hell yeah. You know we are, man. Like we definitely had to get that done because I'm nervous. Like I'm legit nervous.
I am too. Me too.
I am legit nervous, man.
Because that's the thing. Because we don't trust them. Like that last question said, we don't trust the front office. We don't. And namely Howie Roseman, the one who does all the drafting. He's just, like you said, he's an over-glorified accountant that he shouldn't be anywhere near a GM position in the NFL. I'd rather have a GM who is way better at scouting talent and evaluating players and bad at the numbers. You can get someone, you can bring someone in to help him with the numbers. There's lots of accountants out there. Numbers, lots of people know numbers. I mean, me and you, we could go through the numbers. It's all math. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what you can do. By you knowing talent, by you knowing talent as the GM. See, here's the thing: it's easy to find someone to handle numbers versus someone who knows talent. When you know talent, you can gauge value, and when you bring someone along with you who's really good at contracts and numbers and moving that kind of stuff around. If you put those minds together, you have Voltron, someone who's good at gauging talent, someone who's good at managing the numbers, and at that point, you have the perfect marriage, a great balancing act. You feel what I'm saying? Like you can't play around with that kind of stuff. You can't play around with talent. So this draft was probably one of our better drafts in the past handful of years, man. And, and that still remains to be seen because Jacoby Stevens is not getting any reps.
Where's he at?
Yeah, where is he at?
Why hasn't he been brought up? Our linebacker. I mean, he can't be worse than any of our other linebackers on this team right now. It's like, give me Jacoby Stevens. Let's go. He's got to be healthy by now.
Absolutely, man. And then you think about other guys like I'm moving the needle for Milton Williams and Teron Jackson. They both they got sacks against Detroit Lions, but it's the Detroit Lions. But they're young. They're behind guys like Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox. They're in the rotation. I like those guys where they are right now. But and then also Landon Dickerson coming in doing his thing, played a lot sooner than I thought he would have to.
Gainwell's look good.
Gainwell's look good.
Yeah,
DeVonta Smith has obviously been as advertised. He's on pace for over 1,000 yards, over 70 receptions, and about 4 or 5 touchdowns. I believe he should have more touchdowns, but that remains to be seen. But
I wanted to ask you something real quick, Tone, about DeVonta Smith.
Okay.
Midway through the season now. Obviously hindsight's 20. Obviously always 2020. But if you were the GM, if you could go back right now. If you were the GM, if you have the power to make the pick, would you take Parsons over DeVonta Smith, given the need that we have on the defensive side of the ball, especially at linebacker?
That's a really, really good question.
I'd like to know the people in the chat what they think about that question too. Definitely let us know, everybody.
Yeah. Now look, everyone, I need you guys to hear me out on this, okay? This, in no shape, way, or form, is an indictment on DeVonta Smith. He was granted the opportunity that was granted to him.
Yeah.
This is not about DeVonta Smith. I want to make this very clear. This is not about DeVonta Smith. This is about the team. And my thing, in my honest opinion, if I really had to really make that decision over again, I would probably choose Micah Parsons. Just based off of the way this team is. In hindsight, it's 2020, like you said. And JB, just so you know the question, he asked if we had to go back and make that draft pick again, we had chosen Micah Parsons over DeVonta Smith. And again, this is not an indictment on DeVonta Smith at all. Right. He has been as advertised. He is doing the most with his opportunities, all things considered. But knowing how deficient we have been at linebacker for the past several years, you cannot overlook a guy like Micah Parsons. I was happy either way. Either way, I would have been okay. If Patrick Surtain was on the board, I would have been happy if we chose him. You know what I mean? I would have been happy. But in my humble opinion, I probably would have went linebacker because Micah Parsons, he has been as advertised all season long.
Yeah, he has.
So again, everyone, this is not an indictment on DeVonta Smith. He
not
has done his job. But if I had to go back and make that decision again, knowing what I know about this team, I would have chose Micah Parsons. That's just the reality. Because what you could have done later on in that draft, you could because we ultimately traded back, right? We traded we traded it back. No, I'm sorry. We ended up trading back, and then we traded up again. We swapped with Dallas. We could have still got a good wide receiver in that second round, aka Terrence Marshall Jr. Could have got Elijah Moore. You know what I mean? Maybe the Giants wouldn't have chosen Kadarius Toney. Could have got him. You know, there was talent in that wide receiver draft in the second and third round. You didn't have to go after DeVonta Smith, but I understand you had to make a splash. You wanted to go after the Heisman winner. You had to restore faith in the fan base or from the fan base. You know what I mean? So I get it, but I would have probably went Micah Parsons because we know how bad this linebacker core has been. And And the reality is, the Giants most likely would have chosen Devontae Smith, and maybe we would have been ruining the day of that. So I don't know, man. It all remains to be seen, my man. But
Right.
I love Devontae Smith. I think he fits perfectly with the city. He's a no
I do
nonsense
too.
guy. He's a
Yeah.
hard worker. He stays out of the way. My man says all the time that, bro, I don't really go out that much. I stay home. I lay low, and that's the difference between guys who know what their role is, know what their job is, and
Hmm.
guys who are just enamored with the lifestyle.
Right.
Love guys who are workers, who are grinders, who understand that
Hmm.
I'm a football player. I have a responsibility to my craft and my job. So I by no stretch of the imagination am I displeased with the guy we chose. Now, if we would have reached for a guy like Kadarius Toney, or if we would have drafted Kwity Paye, that would have pissed me off tremendously. Not saying
Yeah.
Kwity Paye is a bad player, but if we would have
Right.
drafted Kwity Paye over Devontae Smith, if we would have did all that swapping with picks just to draft Kwity Paye, I would have been pissed. So Devontae
Yeah.
Smith, I was very happy with the pick, man. But
No, I was too.
all that begs the question: are the Eagles where we expect them to be at this point in the season? I'll say no. They're not where I expect them to be. They're actually worse off where I expect them to be. I thought we wasted ample opportunities to be successful. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree because with the talent that we had on this roster going into the season, I expected us to be a run first, a run dominant team, and we could have been. We just didn't have the right personnel on the roster to begin the season, and that cost us multiple games. So I expected us to be. I mean, we're 9 games in. I think I expected us to be right around probably like 4-5, 5-4, right around there. So I mean, we're not too far off of it, but I mean, I think we could have easily be 5-4 right now, easily, and be only what if we were 5-4, we'd only be a game maybe or two behind Dallas. So the division would still even be within reach, But it's just I think some people's expectations were just a little too high going into this year, especially with a rookie head coach, rookie defensive coordinator, a second-year quarterback with a lot of young wide receivers who are very inexperienced. So you have to kind of temper those expectations, but I think that the Eagles are going to they're probably going to win. I think we're going to win today, and that may turn the tides a little bit. We'll see if we get Miles back next week. Going into the home game against the Saints, I believe it is we have next week. So, what do you think, Tone? What are your thoughts on this team this season? Your expectations?
I knew there was going to be a learning curve because of the fact that we had a rookie head coach and
Right.
basically a glorified rookie in Jalen Hurts. I know a lot of people hate to call him that because he was here last year. He played a handful of games. He had a whole off season this year. So a lot of people don't want to give him that rookie tag, and I get it respectfully.
But he had to learn another offense too. That's what people have to realize. This kid has had to learn. He's had to learn multiple offenses, even in college. Like almost every year, he had to learn a new offense, and so you have to take that into consideration too.
That's not easy in and of itself, especially being
It's
a
not.
quarterback and you're young and you're still developing as a thrower of the football. Jalen Hurts is but this team in general, I'm never going to put on his back. This team overall, I did make it a point to curb my expectations, but I told myself I was on a week by week basis, and even before the season started, I said, look, a lot of these games are actually winnable, believe it or not. I never had faith in San Fran. I never had faith in the Panthers. The Chiefs were looking human all season at that point, and they were struggling. the bottom line is there were just moments week by week that I saw that okay, we can actually win this game, and then we played ourselves out of it. You know what I mean? It's one thing to just get beat, but we were beating ourselves. We were not showing up most weeks. You know, from a coaching perspective, from a D line perspective, from a DB perspective, it's just there were too many situations where I was like, wow, if we made a different decision in that moment, then we would be in an entirely different situation. We could easily be, like you said, 5-4 at this point in the season. We could easily be 5-4, but you know, it's just been bonehead decisions time and time again, and not willing to take enough risk in game situations, especially on defense. Just being overall underwhelming. And I love Fletcher Cox to death, but I have a problem paying a guy that much money. And I hate counting somebody. I hate counting pockets. I hate it. It's not the type of person I am. It's not the type of person I am in real life. I hate when people count my pockets. But I hate that we have so much money tied up in that front four, and we're not getting the full return on investment. I would much rather have a serviceable guy at D tackle that I'm paying less money. That actually fits the scheme, fits what Jonathan Gannon is trying to do, and then put some more money in the linebackers in the DB room. You know what I mean? Fletcher Cox is just not the D tackle for what Jonathan Gannon is trying to do. It's just a reality, and he's already set in his ways, being this deep into his career. It was asinine to believe that Fletcher Cox would be so flexible to this new scheme. The good thing about Javon Hargrave is the fact that he never really got a chance to really build bad habits from that past from the past season because he was hurt. So the previous scheme, the previous defensive packages weren't so ingrained in his head as the Fletcher Cox.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it gave more room for him to grow, more room for him to grow and develop in this, man. But ultimately this team is not where I expected. I think they're a little worse than what I expected. I'm not going to say I expected this team to be like 7-2 or 6, but they're a lot worse off than I expected they would be. And also, shout out to Jeremiah Butler with the $4.99 super chat. He says Parsons was off the table in that deal. All off season, I wanted Parsons or Pitts, but that deal only happened on goodwill that we wouldn't pick Parsons. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, I mean, you can say you're not going to pick him, but when you trade me picks, I can do whatever I want. I don't goodwill. I mean, that's a division rival who a year earlier swooped up CeeDee Lamb and was laughing about it because they swooped him up and because they knew that we wanted him. So
can you imagine if we traded with Dallas and we ended up choosing Michael Parsons? They would have been pissed.
How we should have done it. Bro. I mean, what are you doing? It's not like you're burning a bridge with a serious trade partner. No, it's a division rival. Who gives a shit?
JB responded saying that's bad business, honestly. Well, look, Howie Roseman's known for bad business, so
exactly. You might as well just keep up the trend.
Hey, listen, JB, we just tease him, but it's so funny because can you imagine if they would have did that? Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we got you, yo, Howie Roseman would have been moving like the mafia if he would have did that. I would be like, yo, that is the dirtiest thing I've ever seen. Because clearly, when we made that trade, I knew for a fact, okay, they're going after Devontae Smith,
right?
And they're going after Parsons, but that would have been insane. I would have been like, word? That's how we moving? Okay, that's some low ball shit. I'm gonna be honest.
Or what if the Eagles did this? Or what if the Eagles traded back with somebody else and that team took Parsons?
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Dallas doesn't need a wide receiver at all. Who would they have drafted if we would have did that? Let's think about that. Who would Dallas have drafted if we would have chose Micah? Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe Kwity Paye.
Maybe Kwity Paye or Zaven Collins. I don't know.
Maybe Zaven Collins. Yeah. Maybe.
It would
have been interesting. It would have been crazy, like you said.
It's the perfect what if story, man. It's all it's crazy, man.
What if?
Crazy. But yeah, shout out to JB Jeremiah Butler with the $4.99 super chat, man.
Big
Shout out to my
time.
man Bergen 31 for being in the live stream. He showed love as always, my man. Like he says, Grand Rising, my guys be getting that win today. Hey, listen, Bergen 31, my brother, my brethren. You already know, man. We gotta put the foot to the pavement and grind, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's really that simple, you know. And that brings me to the keys to victory, man. For you, Philly Foothills, what are your keys to victory? How do we win? What are the X factors to this victory right now? What needs to go right for us, and what needs to go wrong?
We have to score first. We can't play from behind. We're not a team built to play from behind, even against a semi. They're about an average team in the Denver Broncos. We're just not a team to play from behind. We have to get an early lead. That's one of my keys to victory today. Definitely. It's way too hard for this defense already as it is. And when they're playing from behind and they're trying to dig themselves out of a hole, it just makes it that much harder. So my first key to victory is getting that early lead. What do you think, my dude?
Oh, you said something very key. Getting to an early lead, and that means dictating the pace. We have to, I'm gonna be honest, this Denver Broncos team, they're a very physical team. So we have to out-physical them. Let me remind you, the Denver Broncos are only averaging 20 points per game as an offense. So they don't have an explosive offense by any means. They are a grinded-out team.
Right.
And we have shown that we can put up 25-plus points. We've shown that. We've shown that we're very capable. So if we can get out to an early lead, if we can put that game out of reach early, if we can dictate the pace, keep their offense off the field, keep that defense on, make them overexert themselves, exhaust that pass rush, exhaust them, knock their teeth out of their fucking mouths.
Yes.
Like you have to wear out that defense with the running game.
Mm-hmm.
So the running game is going to be key. Dictating time of possession is going to be key.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to score.
Those kind of go hand in hand, because if you're running the ball, you're extending your drives, you're extending your time of possession. So yeah, definitely.
Yep. And most notably, we have to be aggressive on defense.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot allow these wide receivers to continue to kill us in yak yards.
Right.
We just can't.
Got a gang tackle.
We have the gang tackle, and we can't let guys get out there easily. We just can't. We can't allow it to happen. It's happened on too many occasions. Cortland Sutton is legit. And
not only do we got a gang tackle, but no more of this arm tackling. We got to put our shoulders into guys. We got to put guys on the ground. No more of this grabbing guys, reaching for them with our arm tackling. No, you're a defensive player. Put your body on somebody, hurt somebody, put them down. Don't make them not want to get up again. Seriously, that's what you said a key thing. We have to be aggressive on defense. And my second key to victory is forcing turnovers. We got to get a turnover or two today. Take some pressure off of that defense. Get that defense some extra motivation, some extra fire. Get a strip sack, an interception, something today. We didn't have any turnovers last week, but we didn't give any away either. But we got to get some turnovers this week. We really do. That's my second key.
Yeah. So my first key is run the ball down their throat. That's my first key. My second key is be aggressive on defense. Dictate the pace on both sides of the ball. And my third and final key is this is going to be really important. Jalen Hurts has to make the throws he needs to make. He can't miss gimmies. He can't miss gimmies.
Yeah.
This is the problem. Jalen Hurts can't miss those those key touch. Like you can't. You don't want to be the reason we lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
We got to dictate the pace on both sides of the ball. We have to be aggressive on defense. We have to run early and often. We have to be mindful of down and distance. You know what I'm saying? It's too often. It's too often we're going to shotgun and we only need 3 yards. Why? Why? Why lengthen your distance from the first down? You know, get in the I formation and let your running back pound the rock. You know what I'm saying? If it's 1st and 10, run the rock. See what your offensive line can get you. See what your running back.
Right.
If your running back gets you 4 yards in that 1st and 10, get you 2nd and 6. Okay, let's run it one more time. Let's see what happens. Okay, you give me 3 yards. All right, now I need you to I need you to get this ball where it needs to be, Jalen. And then let's say it's open, it gives him a shorter distance to run for if he has to run. So help your team, like, play down in distance, like a chess player. This is a chess match. We're in the point now where we don't have the talent to get these crazy 3rd and longs. We're not that talented. We're not that good from a scheme perspective, from a play calling perspective. We're too flawed to be in too many 3rd and long, 2nd and long situations. You know, we force Denver into some 3rd and long situations, we have a legit shot to win this game.
Yeah, that's going to be my 3rd key to victory is winning on 1st down on both sides of the ball. We have to get good yardage on 1st down on offense, and we have to limit them on the yardage that they get on 1st down on defense, because it's shown that we're just giving up way too much on the defensive side of the ball on 1st down. And if we can stay on the offensive side of the ball, if we can stay ahead of the chains, then we're going to have a good chance to move the ball down the field and score points today. We really are.
Yep. So that brings me to our bold predictions. What do you expect to happen with this Eagles team right now? Some bold predictions, things that aren't likely to happen, but they can happen. I was kind of right with my Devontae Smith pick, I believe, last week. I was close. I said 150 yards and 1 touchdown, but he had over 100 yards in a touchdown. So I was pretty close. But as far as some bold predictions, man, for me, one of my bold predictions is I'm expecting Jalen Hurts to actually have. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is just based off of the way we've been running the ball. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have over 100 yards rushing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a bold prediction, right? It's bold.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts is going to have over 100 yards rushing, and Jordan Howard is going to have over 100 yards rushing. So that's my first bold prediction. Jalen Hurts and Jordan Howard are going to combine for 200 yards rushing on the ground.
Whoa.
Yeah. What's your bold prediction?
I like that. Let's see. My first bold prediction is going to be that Quez Watkins is going to have over 100 yards receiving today and a touchdown.
Oh, wait, say that one more time, player.
Quez Watkins is going to have over 100 yards receiving today and a touch.
Okay. Now, granted, that is bold, all things considered, because he hasn't really been getting that many targets as of late. And they've only been using him in like home run situations, which I don't like. They need to actually get him more involved. But I like that. My second bold prediction is Josh Sweat is going to force a strip sack on Teddy Bridgewater, and Davion Taylor is going to return it.
Okay.
He's going to scoop and score it. Josh Sweat strip sack with the Davion Taylor scoop and score.
I like it.
Yeah. What about yours?
I like it.
What's your second bold prediction?
My second bold prediction is going to be that Fletcher Cox has a strip sack and fumble recovery today.
Ooh, okay. Now, he hasn't really been getting sacks lately. I think he only has like maybe 1 or 2 in the season, right? If that.
Yeah, I think he might only have 1.
JB said, I think Foothills won the bold prediction award.
Appreciate you, JB.
Oh, man, that is bold. But Okay, I like it. Okay, so my first one was Jalen Hurts and Jordan Howard were going to combine for over 200 yards rushing. My second bold prediction was Josh Sweat is going to have a strip sack and Davion Taylor is going to scoop a score. And my third and final bold prediction of the day is that the Philadelphia Eagles defense is only going to give up. This is bold as hell. But the Philadelphia Eagles defense won't give up and won't allow the Denver Broncos to surpass their average. So that's 20 points. So the Eagles are going to hold my bold prediction is that this Eagles defense will hold Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos to less than 20 points. Not 20 points, less than 20 points. That's my bold prediction.
Okay. Oh, I like that, definitely. My third bold prediction is going to be, and like I mentioned earlier, we got to get a turnover. So I'm going to say Anthony Harris is going to have a pick six against Teddy Bridgewater today.
Okay, I like that. And Anthony Harris has been MIA the past couple weeks because of injury. He should be coming back. So, okay, I like that.
Yep.
I like that. All right, so there we are. The bold predictions are locked in. For me, well, let's run down one more time. For my three bold predictions are Jordan Howard and Jalen Hurts are going to combine for over 200 yards rushing. My second bold prediction is Josh Sweat will have a strip sack and Davion Taylor will scoop and score for a touchdown. And my third and final bold prediction was this Eagles defense will hold the Denver Broncos to under 20 points.
Under 20 points. Yep.
Under 20 points. All right.
Nice.
And let's run down yours one more time.
My three were Quez Watkins will have 100 yards receiving today and a touchdown. Fletcher Cox will have a strip sack and fumble recovery. Mm-hmm. And the third one was Anthony Harris will have a pick six against Teddy Bridgewater today. Those are my bold predictions.
All right. I like it. All right. Now, before we get out of here, let's go through our score predictions, my man. I'll let you lead the way.
All right. So I think, I was earlier in the week, I was thinking it was going to be a little higher scoring, but I think I'm changing my mind on that. I think we're going to win on the foot of David Akers. The minute, or maybe a field goal within the last minute of the game. Eagles are going to win 24-21.
Okay, interesting. My score prediction is, and remember, this has to coincide with my bold prediction as well.
Right.
My score prediction is Eagles 27, Denver Broncos 17. Now they're going to move the ball, but I'm expecting this defense to bear down, maybe force a couple turnovers, limit them to 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That's my expectation right now.
Yeah.
My score prediction is Eagles 27, Denver Broncos 17. So, yep, there we are. And yours was what was yours again?
24-21 Eagles.
24-21 Eagles. Okay, and that's off of a game-winning kick by Jake Elliott.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Listen, I like it, man. The Foothills, man. As always, this live stream has been immaculato. Like, I really appreciate you, my man. This is what we do each and every week, man. When we're able. I always appreciate you for just making yourself available, especially being on the West Coast, being on California time, man.
Of course.
This, it's a blessing to have this platform that you and I are building together to continue to put out dope content, my dude. Like, just tell the people where they can find you, how they can support you. And before we get out of here real quick, JB gave us another $4.99 super chat. He said, bold prediction, J-Jaw will get the block of the game for a Rager go-ahead touchdown off a jet sweep. Whoa, okay. That's the
JB wins he wins the bold award today. Definitely.
JB wins the bold prediction of the day. JB wins the bold prediction of the week.
Hands down.
Wow,
Yes.
man. That is wild. That is
Yeah.
wild, man. But shout out
Thank
to
you, JB, for the
$4.99. We really
yes.
appreciate you, my man. It just
Thank
shows
you.
how much you love the content, shows how much you're committed to it. I appreciate you for being committed to our journeys, man. This is definitely something that we really appreciate, my man. Shout out to Ant Boogie. You know, shout out to my little brother, man. You know, showing love to the content. Really appreciate you, my guy. Shout out to Ryan Rowe for locking in, man. You know, let's just shout out some people, man. Shout out to Ryan Rowe with the score prediction 25-18 Eagles. Shout out to Drip, man. Appreciate that guy. He says 41-27.
What up, Drip?
Shout out to Max Prime, been real loyal in the stream. Shout out to Philly Girl for popping in. Appreciate her. Once again, shout out to JB. Who else? Shout out to the Backyard Birds podcast, man. Really appreciate those guys as well. Shout out to Ivan Mims for locking in. Shout out to Rock the Artist.
What up, Rock?
Shout out to Bird Gang 31.
Bird
always
Gang.
showing love per usual. Who else, man? So many people that was coming in and out of the live stream. Shout out to Foster Parks. You know what I mean? Shout out to Loyal Bird. Shout out to Mom Dukes. Showing love. Appreciate you, mama. Shout out to Scooby Doo, my man.
Oh,
you guys have been locking in. Shout out to Seth Morose.
What up?
Shout out to the Big Stepper podcast. Those are my guys, man. They're killing it. Shout out to the Big Stepper podcast, one of the hottest podcasts in the city. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Random Anton.
What up, Random?
What I mean? Shout out to I Bleed Green 20. You guys make the content flow. You guys make the content go. You already know. I'm here with my bro, Philly Foothills, a.k.a. Philly Fuego from the Nest Out West. Y'all know how we get busy. Shout out to Radiant. You know what I mean? Man. Shout out to Ewing 609. Shout out to Samsung. Shout out to Poyo Tom, LA Rams YouTuber.
What up, Poyo?
Shout out to Jamal Matthews. Shout out to Act Eagle, aka Eagles Uncensored Podcast. Shout out to Eagle.
My boy.
Shout out to Eric Stewart. Appreciate him. Shout out to BLSG. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Eagles Company 1992. Shout out to Dustin Keys. Shout out to Jadis Young. You know, like shout out to Jordy Fighter, Richie Mack. You know, you guys have been so loyal to the soil. This is crazy, man. We really appreciate y'all for locking in. This is humbling, y'all. Truly, man. And Boogie says, "Wait, so Rager scoring today, right?" Hey, we hope so, man. We hope so, bro. I personally don't think so, but hey, we're gonna see what happens at the end of the day. I personally won't put my money on him at all, you know. But before I cut you off, man, Philly Foothills, tell the people how they can support you, liking on your content. Remind you, we're live on 2 channels, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to myself, the Nest Out West with Philly Foothills, and Tony DeShields II from Chalking Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. And y'all know, go lock in on the Nest Out West where they keep it fuego. Philly Foothills, go tell them how to find you, my man.
Yeah, you guys, come check me out on The Nest Out West. I'm always holding it down for Eagles Nation out here in California. You know, born and raised a California kid, but I'm a self-made Eagles fan. Been an Eagles fan for a long time now, over 25 years. So always putting out that good content. And yeah, every Sunday you can catch me in Tone our pregame podcast, and you can catch me. It kind of varies during the week, whenever we can kind of fit it in. But East Meets West podcast as well with my guy AK Eagles of Eagles Uncensored podcast, and also Vic 3, my 2 co-hosts. We're always holding it down. Yeah, come check me out, like you see right there, The Nest Out West. Come sub me up because I'm on the road to getting monetized. So definitely, I'm just got to get those watch hours in. So
yes, sir.
But I have lots of live streams that you can go watch. You can even just have them playing in the background. You know, it all helps accumulate to the watch hours and to getting my channel going and stuff like that. So yeah, you guys can also. I want you guys to go check out the merchandise site that my wife's been working on. KShadDesigns.com. Go to that. The link is always in my live streams and all that, so you can find the link on there. Go get yourself some Nest Out West merch, or just make a straight donation, you know, to help support the channel as well. You know, before I get monetized, you can donate directly to PayPal or to Venmo. You know, I'm always accepting those great content donations as well. So yeah, I really appreciate doing this thing. Really love each and every one of you. Like I always say, each and every one of you out there, you guys are the food and the water to the channel. Without you, it does not continue to survive. So if you're feeling the vibe, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep my dreams alive. And yes, there's one of my puppies right there. That's my wife's got all kinds of stuff on there. But yeah, you'll find Nest Out West merch on there as well. So yeah, you get yourself a mug, get yourself a shirt. Definitely check it out. There you go. You see some of the Nest Out West stuff there. But yeah, you guys, I love doing this thing. I want to keep doing it. So I'm just trying to, get this thing going. So yeah, cop yourself a shirt. We print it ourselves. We'll send it to you ourselves. So we're all small business. It's all done by ourselves. So you guys are definitely, if you purchase some merch, you're definitely, all the proceeds are going right back into the channel. So I thank you guys so much. And, it's always fly, Eagles fly. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, like I always say, and like it says right there, keep it fuego.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like my man said, we appreciate you guys for always locking in on the content. This is something that we don't take for granted at all. You guys have always shown love to us. You guys have always shown love to our platforms, man. This is something we really try to give our all to. Along with Philly Foothills, I also have merchandise as well. So we always appreciate the support. All proceeds definitely go back to the channel. We're making this thing better. As you guys can see, my setup is getting a lot better. We got the mic popping. We got the backdrop and everything. We're doing big things, man. And we're all growing. That's the thing, man. It's all about just putting our best foot forward and giving you guys the content you guys rightfully deserve, man. You guys have always been loyal to the soil from the very beginning, and we're just so grateful for that. We got so many items on the Chalk It Up merch shop. The links are always down below in the description if you want to support myself and the channel, along with Philly Foothills from the Nest Out West. All our links are down below if you want to get merchandise as well. And also, we got charges to the game tees, man. Sometimes I like to keep things simple. I got the price nice and tight for you guys. $17, not bad for charges to the game tee. You know what I mean? What else we got for you guys? We got charges to the game hoodies as well. Something nice and simple. So something that you can rock at any occasion at any given point in time. Comes in different colorways. We got it in red. We got it in that Eagles green. You know what I mean? We even got it in orange. In case you work outside, in case you do construction, you got that bright orange to get things going for yourself so people can see you. We even got some Chalk It Up logos popping right here with the eagle. My own custom stuff. Really appreciate you guys. Got those in Eagles green as well. It looks amazing, by the way. The support you guys have been giving is immense. And I try to keep all my prices as affordable as possible. The holidays are coming up. Make sure you guys treat the family to some merch, man. We got so many things. We got face masks and neck gaiters, because, due to the pandemic, unfortunately. But this is our reality, you guys. Make sure you guys try to stay healthy. You guys try to just stay, just keep the hope alive, you guys. I know right now the way the climate is out there, it's not easy to stay motivated. It's not easy to stay healthy. It's not easy to stay inspired. And, we try to just make sure we give you guys some good juju, some good energy, some blessings through this content. And you guys truly make everything worthwhile, man. We are humbled by it. This content is nothing without you guys. Once again, we are live on 2 channels. So if you want to catch up on this live stream, you can check it out on the Nest Out West with Philly Foothills. You can literally search it easily, Nest Out West. It pops right up. My man has over 1,000 subscribers and counting, on the road to 2K. My man is bodying it out here. So please show my man some love, Philly Foothills from the Nest Out West. The links are available down below in the description. In the description, if you want to, in the description, excuse me. The links are available down below in the description if you want to support us in the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. And if you guys want to support me, the links are available in the description as well. Man, we are both on the road to 2K. We've been grinding together, and birds of a feather flock together. You know what I mean?
That's right.
This is huge for us, and we do this every week. You guys, come back. You already know how we get down.
You just thought of our name for our podcast. Birds of a feather.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
Beautiful. I love it.
I like that.
Birds of a feather. That's great.
Okay, I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down. Birds of a feather.
I love it. Yeah.
I gotta write that down, man. But
yeah,
you guys, we're so grateful for you. We're gonna get out of here. as you know, give him your phrase, man. Give him the motto from the Nest Out West, man. You know what to do.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I always say, you know, we fly until we die. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, like I always say, keep it fuego.
Yes,
Peace,
sir. As I always tell you guys, thank you for locking in on Chalking Up Sports Philly, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. And flag was fly. And Foothills,